Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm up and I'm at 'em.
Exactly. Up and at 'em.
Did you see the picture of Annie's wedding?
I did. It was so
Gorgeous,
beautiful.
eh? Really.
Yeah.
I had never seen her kids, and certainly not all in a row. So
Beautiful
really nice.
family. She's lucky.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally got to have it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get it done. Time to be good to ourselves. Get all stretchy bendy. So let's come all the way to the back of the mat. Pull your elbows back, make a fist, and let's just start out doing these good mornings. Just to kind of wake up the back of the body a little bit. Also, sometimes in the morning, our hip flexors get tight. So we're going to loosen them up in a few. Okay, last one. Hold it down. Get your elbows nice and high. Now just let the arms fall where they want to. And just do a nice forward fold here. You might have straight legs, you might not, doesn't really matter. But whatever the legs are, think about pressing your booty up to the ceiling. Let's keep our shoulders retracted. Just look down at your feet or through your knees. Okay, one hand at a time above the knees. You're going to help your upper body come back to a standing position. You're just going to sweep this right arm up. You can follow it with your gaze. Little side body stretch. The arm should be nice and long. And let's do the same on the other side. And again, one more time on each side. Feels so good. And last one. Nice. Let's bring the arms forward. Your palms are going to face each other. Just give me a little squat and then come back to a standing. So all the way back to a straight leg. Booty pushes back, squat down, and let's keep our spine nice and long. Great. A few more here. We're just going to hold this last one and do a little pulse. So it's not a huge squat, it's just tiny. Just warming up these quads a little bit here. Nice. Okay, hold it and then just elevate the arms a little bit. Now bring the arms back down and lift and lower. Try to stay nice and broad through the shoulders. And most of the weight is in the back of the body. A few more. All the way back to standing, reach your arms nice and long. Lengthen through the torso, and let's do a nice slow swan dive all the way down. Really reach your arms out to the side. Now just let the head go where it wants to. Feel a nice unweighting of the upper body. Okay, one more time, hands above the knees, come up nice and slow. Take your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Hands to heart. You're going to step your left foot forward and get nice and high on the toes on the back foot. We're going to open up this front hip flexor a little bit. So we're going to hang out here for 5 breaths. Reach your arms nice and long. Take your gaze, look up. And just kind of enjoy the moment. Try to pull the shoulders down. Keep them broad. And the hands don't need to connect at the top. If it's more comfortable for you to keep them wide, keep them wide. Okay, hands to heart, bend into your front knee, and then we're going to push off and come back to standing. Big deep breath. Really try to grow, so pulling from the head further up to the ceiling. Hollowing out the belly. Hands to heart, big step forward with the right foot. Nice. Nice and high on the back toes. Reach your arms up. So you might feel a little pull here. Make sure your back leg is pretty much straight and you're really up on the toes. Couple more breaths. Okay, hands to heart. Bend your knee and then push off back to standing. Big deep breath. Nice slow swan dive all the way down. Bend your knees, and this time we're going to walk out to a plank. And you're just going to pull right through to a down dog. Just relax here and breathe. 5 breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, but make them big and great. Feeding your body oxygen. What could be better? Okay, keep the belly hollowed out. We're going to slowly pull the shoulders over the wrists. Just hold your plank. Take your gaze off the front of the mat. Now press back, down dog. Let's get high on the toes this time. And think about really trying to pull your coccyx bone up to the ceiling. Okay, heels towards the earth. Bring the body forward again so your shoulders are over your wrists. Your gaze is off the mat, looking forward. Now let's lower the knees to the floor, but let's open them up nice and wide. You're going to be on the tops of your feet. Just take it all the way back to a nice child's pose. You can have your head and your arms anywhere that feels good for you. 5 big, huge breaths. Okay, let's come back up onto all fours. Bring your knees in so they're under your hips, hip width apart. We're going to do a few cat cows. So arch the back, tuck the toes under. We're just looking down at the knees. Now take your gaze, look up, chest comes forward. You're still pulling in the belly button. Round your back, drop your head. Really press, like try to open between the shoulder blades. We're not locking out at the elbow. Chest comes forward, look out. Okay, back to a neutral position with your spine. Keeping your hips evenly weighted, left to right. Breaks in the elbows. Face looking forward, just to the front of your mat so your neck is nice and long. You're going to take your right leg back. Try to get it straight. Just hold it back there. Now we want to be mindful not to let our hips and all of our body weight shift to the left, because then this becomes more of a leg exercise than a core exercise. So ultimately you want to be feeling this through your transverse abdominis, your right body side. Okay, let's put the foot back down. Make sure your knees are right under the hips and they're hip width. I'll do the same thing with the other leg. So engage the stomach, pull in the belly button, then extend your leg. We want to lock that leg nice and straight. And if you have a tendency to shift your body weight to the right, do the opposite. Come on back down, both knees to the mat, toes are tucked under. We're just going to elevate the knees a little bit off the floor and then lower them and lift them and lower and lift and lower. 2 more times. Lift, lower. Last one. Okay, you're going to drift your hips back so they're right over the heels. You're going to walk your hands forward. The forearms are going to stay off the floor. Lower your face till your ears are by the sides of your arms. Spine is long, tummy is in. So if you can, isometrically pull your hands towards your body. Now from here, we're going to keep our hips exactly where they are, and we're just going to start to inch our hands to the right. They're still going to be shoulder width apart, just till you feel a little tug on your left side body. Maybe you try to inch them a little bit further away from you. Now we're going to inch them back or step them back. Hips are nice and square. You're not sitting down on the heels. Start to go the other way with the hands. Once you've gone as far as you're going to go, see if you can inch them out a tiny bit just to enhance that stretch you're feeling on the right side of your body. Hold it and breathe. Okay, bring it back. So the hands are still a little bit wider than shoulder width. Your ears are right by the sides of your arms and your forehead is off the floor. We're going to take the right palm, just roll it so the palm faces the ceiling. Now lift that hand off the floor and reach the arm nice and straight. This is a great shoulder opener. So your hand is just hovering above the floor. Close it, relax. Other side. Open the palm, lift it, and then reach it forward. Try to get the arm as straight as you can. Close it and relax. Come up onto all fours. Round your back, drop your face. Chest comes forward, look out. And again, round your back. Really try to open up between the shoulder blades. Come back to a neutral spine. Bring your hands to the front of your mat and come into a high plank. We're going to do a tiny little half hover and go right to your up dog. Knees are down, but your toes are going to stay tucked under. We're not here for long. Little flexibility coming into that lower back. Keep hollowing out the belly, even though you're in this position. Now let's hollow it out and slowly lift those hips up. Slow motion. You're going to take those hips all the way back so they're just over the heels. And you're going to do that isometric pull with your hands towards your body again. Let's come back forward. Meet me in your high plank. Little half hover right to your up dog. Hold it here a few breaths. Pull in the stomach. Nice. Now, slow motion. Start elevating those hips as you suck in the stomach. Bring those hips all the way back so they're just above the heels. Pull those hands in towards you. Now, you're going to lower the forearms to the floor. Bring your shoulders forward so they're just over the elbows. Your wrists line up with the elbows and your palms are on the floor. You're going to step your left foot back, then the right. You're in your low plank. Now, slowly, hollowing out the belly, lower the hips, take your gaze forward, and then pull in the stomach as best you can. Come back up to your low plank. And let's do that again. The entire palm and all fingers are pressing into the floor. Hollow out the stomach, lift. Legs are locked out straight when you're in your low plank. And slowly lower. And slowly lift. And slowly lower. And slowly lift. Bring in that stomach up to the spine. Let's just stay here for 5 more breaths. Okay, knees are down. You're going to walk your forearms back and you're going to meet me in a child's pose. Just relax for 5 big, huge breaths. Your favorite child's pose. Okay, back up onto all fours. Tuck those toes under. You're in your quadruped position. So knees under hips, spine long. Elevate the knees. Now you're going to walk your hands to the front of your mat so you're in your high plank with your shoulders over your wrists. And we're going to press back to a down dog. We're going to lift our left leg up, getting into this left glute a little bit. Now relax that right heel, just let it hang out where it wants to. Try to evenly weight both of your arms. So your hips are staying nice and square. You're just elevating the leg high enough that you can keep the hip from lifting up. Okay, let's lower that leg. Pull forward to plank. Pull back to down dog, right leg up this time. Really feeling the top part of the hamstring and the butt doing the work. And let's lower that leg, pull forward to plank again. Press back down dog. This time left leg comes up and the hip lifts. Keep both arms evenly weighted. It's just the lift of the hip. Keep hollowing out the belly, pull in the ribs. Bring it forward to plank. Put the foot back on the floor. And press back down dog. Right leg up, right hip opens. So really try to lift that leg as best you can. Come forward to plank, put the foot back on the floor. Bring those knees underneath your hips. You're in your bear. Just hold it here for 3 breaths. Now you're going to walk your hands back to your feet. Meet me in your forward fold. Should feel really good. So a little bit easier to open the or get the legs completely straight in your forward fold now that we've moved a bit and opened up our hips and lower back. Maybe you can give a tiny little bend to the knees and feel your ribs resting on your thighs. Okay, let's take both hands to our left ankle and let's just sweep your right leg back till it's parallel to the floor and nice and straight. Just take your gaze, look at your foot. Little one leg balance pose. Let's put the right foot down. Hold on to your right foot, sweep your left leg back. Modification for this pose would be to have your hands out on the floor in front of the foot. Okay, adding on, switch over to the left. Right leg comes back behind you. This time, I'm going to have you take your right hand up to your hip, open your chest to face the right side of the room. You can bring that left hand out in front of the foot. Little half moon. If you can, lift that right arm up. Back leg is nice and high. Maybe bend into that left elbow. Lower the torso a little bit towards the leg. Okay, let's bring that right hand back to the floor. So now you got both hands on the floor in front of the foot. Hold your back leg up. Add a little pulse to the back leg. Tiny move. Now hold the leg up in the back. Tap the toe to the floor, your right toe, and lift it back up. Tap it and lift it. Nice steady pace. Tap, lift, tap, lift, and bring it down. Bend your knees, walk your hands out to plank. Little reprieve before we do the other leg. How kind am I? Pull through down dog. Let's pedal our feet here. Get into those calves. Maybe you hold one side down a little bit. Make sure you can see your arms through your peripheral vision. Switch right. Bend both knees. Walk your hands back to your feet, forward fold. Okay, hands out in front. Sweep your left leg back behind you. Open your hip to the ceiling. Bring your left hand up to your waist. So now your chest is going to face the left side of your room. Lift that left arm up if you can. Otherwise, just hold it on your hip. If you can, you want to bend into that right elbow, lowering your torso a little closer to that standing leg. Just relax here and breathe. Using the strength of your body to build and tone your muscles is so awesome. Okay, let's take that left hand down, square the hip. So both hips are the same height. Give me a little pulse with that left leg. Slow and steady. Okay, hold it up. Hips are square. You're going to lower the toe slowly to the floor and bring it back up. Take it down and lift. Try to drift your hips backwards so you're really pressing into the back of that standing leg. A few more taps. Okay, put that foot down, bend your knees, walk your hands out to your plank. Hold your plank nice and still, hollowing out the belly. Just breathe. Maybe you close your eyes and just kind of get lost. Lost in your breath. Okay, we're going to put our right knee down in the middle of our mat and have the toes just come off to the side. And then take your left hand to the middle of your mat. And then let's take a peek at that left heel. See if we can line it up with our hip. Sweep your left arm up, kneeling side plank. Now make sure you've got a little break in that right elbow, and you're not going to put too much weight into the right hand, but I'm going to ask you to lift your left leg up. So really using the outside of that butt cheek to do the lifting, and then lower it back down and lift it back up. Make sure the leg is pulling towards the back of your room, and lower and lift and lower. One more time. Lift it. Now add that little pulse up. Now let's do 5 toe taps, down and up. Try not to limit the range here. You want to work as best you can to get it up as high as you can. Come on to all fours. Whew. Little break. That doesn't get easy, does it? I'm going to grab a little sip. Good morning, world. Good morning, Sue. Cheers. Hello, Val. I know you're doing it later. And Anne and Mark. Karen. Can't forget the sis. Okay, come back. We're going to take the left wrist in the middle, left knee in the middle, foot off to the side. Step your right leg back. Same thing, other side, right? Little break in the left elbow. Let's lift that back leg up. Really reach the heel to touch the back of your room. And then lower it back down. Lift it. Your right arm is nice and long and strong, going straight up to the ceiling. And lower. And lift. Try to push your body weight backwards so you're not weighting into that left hand. Use your core strength here to balance. And lift. Hold it up. Let's add that little pulse. Now tap the foot and lift it up 5 times. Great job. Back onto all fours. Round your back, couple of cat-cows, moving on to a bridge. Round your back. Chest comes forward, look out. Again, round. Neutral spine, kick your feet out to the side, come on down onto your butt. Let's just do a little low back stretch. So legs are fully extended. You're sitting up nice and tall. You're just going to walk it out. You're going to round your back, relax your head, just hang out where you want to. The only thing I ask here is that you're still hollowing out your belly. If you can get your forearms down onto the floor right beside your legs, go for it. Toes are pressing right up to the ceiling. Nice stretch for the back of the legs. Okay, come on back up. Little bend in the knees, arms forward, palms face each other. Now you're going to C-curve the spine. So you're rounding and pulling in and coming down nice and slow. And then we're going to meet in our bridge. So pull those heels in a little bit closer. Come up into your bridge. I'm going to have you walk your feet together and have your knees pulling into each other. Let's lift the arms off the floor. So your palms are facing each other. Your hands are over your shoulders. Squeeze your knees. That's all you have to do. Let's drop the arms back halfway behind you. Keep your tummy hollowed out. And just breathe and squeeze. Now in slow motion, on 5 counts, that's how slow, you're going to lower your butt to the floor. While you keep squeezing as hard as you can. As soon as you feel it tap, make connection, start your descent, start coming back up. Not descent, your ascent. Squeeze harder. Start going down. Really slowly. So important to maintain that squeeze. Come on, back up. Tummy is hollowed out. It's not resting. You're working it in the entire time. Lower. Lift. Now, this time I want you to lower it just before you feel your butt hit the floor. So if you feel it hit, just bring it up a tiny bit. Squeeze your knees. Your ankles are touching. Now you're going to take your hands, your palms are going to face forward, and you're going to bring them all the way down to the floor. Keep those hips where they are. So I'm going to ask you to pull your right knee into the body. Your hips are going to stay exactly where they were. They're low, just above the floor. Now work to pull the knee in. Now lift the hips up. As you bring that right knee into you, hold it up. Lower it down slowly. Just till you feel your butt hit the floor and start to come back up again. Pressing up through that heel. Hold it up. Pull the right knee in a little closer. Lower it down slowly. Really should try to find 5 counts going down or even more. Back up. So ask yourself, am I up where I should be? Or could I go maybe a little higher? Just hold. Pull your right knee in closer. Okay, all the way down with your butt. Bring both knees into the chest. Little reprieve before the other side. How lucky are we? Circle those knees out, forward, and in. So pull them in, take them out. Oh, should feel so good. And bring them back together. One more time. 3rd time's the charm. Okay, feet back to the floor. Knees and feet together. Slowly elevate up off the floor with your hips. Squeeze your knees. Arms come up. Drop them 6 inches towards the back. Keep squeezing. This is such a good way to build core strength safely. Working all those tiny itty bitty little muscles that need to support all of our daily movements. Hollow out the tummy. 5 counts down. Don't lose the squeeze. 5 counts up. Keep that going. 2 more times. Work as hard as you can right now. Just savor the moment. Make it great. And you think of it really, it's 45 minutes out of your day to build strength to improve your quality of life. It's not a big ask. Hover your hips just above the floor. Squeeze with all your might. 5 breaths. Left knee comes into the body. Hips stay where they were. Palms face forward. Bring the arms back to the floor. Elevate the hips. Press up through that right heel. Lower down on 5 counts. Your left knee stays in. It's the same thing we did on the other side. Try to be mindful not to let that right knee open to the right. You want to be activating isometrically the inner thigh. Repeat this slow as you can go, 5 more times. Both feet to the floor, squeeze your knees. Lower your hips just above the floor. Lower your hips. Oh, how good does that feel? Bring those knees in. We get to do that nice stretch again. Open them out nice and wide. Pull the knees forward. You're guiding them into this movement. So holding gently on the tops of the knees. Going nice and slowly. You know, if you want to hang out where they're open because it just feels so good, do it. Okay, let's change the direction. So now you're going to circle in, bring them together, push them away, and back out. Let's do that 4 more times. So good for our hips, creating this movement. And then from here, we're going to transition to a happy baby. How lucky are we? So you can either grab onto the outsides of your feet or 2 fingers around your big toes, heels up towards the ceiling, and the knees pull through down towards the floor. Now let's be mindful to keep our lower back on the mat. If you want to add a gentle rock side to side, you can. Okay, let's take the feet, connect them at the top, legs all the way up to the ceiling. Legs are nice and straight, arms by your side. So lift your hands 1 inch off the floor. Arms are long and strong. Lift your shoulder blades up off the floor and lower your right leg most of the way down, but not all the way. Just hold, really try to lift those shoulder blades up, tuck that chin under, just breathe. Reach your fingers to the front of your room, pull them. Take that right leg up, relax the head to the floor, relax the hands, roll the head side to side. Okay, hands come off the floor, reach them forward. Left leg comes down this time, shoulder blades up. Hold and breathe. So really try to keep this right leg long and the left leg long. Try to reach your fingers to touch the front of your room. Breathe a few more times. and bring it down. Okay, legs are bent. A couple of stretches before we say goodbye. Excuse me. You have a small bend in the legs. Your feet are hip width apart. Your arms are by your side. Tuck your shoulder blades under so they are nice and flat. Your head is relaxing. Just let the knees fall to the right side. And let's take this left arm out at a 45-degree angle from your body. Reach it long. Big deep breath. Now let's bring that arm back. Bring your knees center. Take them to the other side. Just let them go where they want to. Right arm reaches out 45 degrees. Big deep breath. Bring the arm in. Bring the knees back up. You're going to take your left hand or a towel around the bottom of your left foot, and you're going to hold onto the towel or your big toe. Straighten that left leg. Toes press down towards your face. If it's comfortable for you to do so, you can extend your right leg down along the floor and press your right calf into the mat. If that doesn't feel quite right for you, keep it bent. See if you can move that left foot a little more to the back of the room. Now, both hands just on top of the knee. Bring that knee into the body and extend that leg all the way down or to a bend, small bend in the knee, whichever. Bring your right leg in. 2 fingers around your big toe or hold on to that right foot with a towel. Straighten that leg. Pressing the toes down to your face, towards your face, opens up the tendons behind the knee. You might feel a little pull there. And then if you can, keeping the legs straight, see if you can get it a little more towards the back of the room. Again, you don't want to force it. You just want to feel a nice release. Okay, let's take both hands, bend that knee into the body. Now from here, we're going to go into that figure 4 stretch. So right foot flexed, sit it on top of your left thigh. Bring your left knee in towards you. Right knee moves forward. Take that left foot down, right foot down, and we're going to switch. Left foot on top of the right thigh. Bring the right knee in. Try to move the left knee forward. Okay, release the knees. Pull both of them into the body. Bring your forehead up to meet them, tucking into a tiny ball. Now release the head down, roll it up, come up onto the toes, all the way into a forward fold. One hand at a time above your knees, come up nice and slowly. Great job. Big deep breath. And I thank you so much for your power and your strength. Thank you for being here and taking the time for you. Way to go, Sue. Hope you feel fabulous. I can't
It's
hear you.
me.
Oh, there you are.
There I am. Yeah,
Hey.
sometimes I wish someone would do it for me.
Was it hard?
No, not what? No.